Hi, I'm Robin with Rainbow Gardens, and today we're here with Laura Jarvis, and we are going to be talking about Xeriscape. And Laura, what exactly is Xeriscape?
Ooh, yes. So there's a lot of talk about Xeriscape, from the things we read in the papers to TV shows to all kinds of information on websites, but mainly the difference is our regular garden plants take a steady, regular amount of water, and our Xeriscape plants are what we like to call water saver plants. So they're going to take a very reduced amount of water, and I always like to think of Xeriscape plants as reduced care as well. If I'm not out there having to water my plants, 3, 4, 5 times a week, then to me that's reduced care. So that's how I think of them. And the really cool thing about Xeriscape plants is Rainbow Gardens Nursery has a huge selection of them. We look far and wide for all kinds of different Xeriscape plants that do well here. Now, some Xeriscape plants are native and some are not native. And so we are not talking about maybe something that's native to this region necessarily, but reduced care and water requirements for them. The other thing that I think is really neat that people don't understand, a lot of times you think of Xeriscape as like, well, isn't that just cactus and succulents and kind of boring and no blooms, no pretty stuff? But not really. There's a whole lot of Xeriscape plants that are very, very, very pretty, and we can get lots of different blooming things going at all different times of the year. So have I made you want to go out and get some Xeriscape plants?
Sure, that sounds great.
Good.
All right.
We have a plant here that is one of our native wildflowers. Sometimes you can find it early spring, or you can find it by seed and just sprinkle that seed in the fall. This has really outperformed anything we even expected. It's been an amazing plant. This is just 3 different plants that we planted here, and it's been blooming since very early spring, I believe. One of our first things in our new butterfly area to start blooming. So this is a really good addition to your Xeriscape gardens. Here we have another super great plant. You see this a lot, and there's a reason, because it is really, really hardy, great Xeriscape plant. And one of the better things about Lantana is that they come in all different colors. So if you have color preferences, height or size or shape preferences, you can choose from a lot of different types and colors of Lantana. They have short, more dwarf types now that are a little more compact, and they also have the trailing types, and then they have the larger, more upright types. There are some true native Lantanas as well, for those of you who like to not only do Xeriscape but also keep to more native plants. And one of my favorite things about it is that it is also a good pollinator plant. So a lot of bees, hummingbirds, and butterflies really enjoy Lantana. Okay, let's go. We got more plants to see. Come on, everybody. Okay, right here we have an interesting plant. This is called gopher purge, and a lot of areas where they have gopher problems, they'll actually use this plant to repel gophers. But we like it because it blooms early in the spring, and the pollinators really enjoy the blooms on this particular plant. And because it's a Euphorbia, this plant is really a low water type of plant, low maintenance type of plant. I would just cut the dead off after it freezes back in the fall, and then it's going to come out fresh and look beautiful like this throughout the summer months. We have another right in front of it with a pink bloom called yarrow, and we have a lot of native yarrows in our area. but that's also a really good low water type of plant. You can usually buy it by seed and also in different sizes of plant starters. Even 4-inch, sometimes we see the different yarrows, lots of different varieties of that plant, so you can get different colors of the yarrow. It's a true perennial, very cold hardy, and it's going to come back year after year after year, so really good addition. This is everyone's favorite. This is a garden phlox, and the garden phlox comes in several different colors and several different heights. We have a really great garden phlox here, bred by one of our nurserymen, our local nurseryman. It's called Phoenix phlox. John Phoenix from Phoenix Garden is the one that bred that plant. Really super addition, very drought tolerant. In fact, one little cue from these, if they're getting a little bit too much, is that they'll get mildew on them. So anytime you see that on there, if you can cut back on your water. I just water whenever it looks like it's thirsty, and that is not very often. So wonderful addition. All right, here we are to one of everyone's favorite, and I think the reason I like this plant so much is because it always looks neat and clean. It is an evergreen, which means that this particular, I think it's technically a perennial, but it stays green during the winter time, which is really wonderful for those of us who want to have, you know, nice looking landscape in the winter as well as the summertime. It's going to bloom almost all summer long, get about 10, maybe 12 inches tall at the max. Does really great in a lot of hot sun that sometimes other plants are not real happy with. So very versatile, really good xeriscape and sun plant. It'll even work next to your driveways, which is a tough area for a lot of plants. So definitely put that on my list.